A handstand is a constant fight for balance. It's a fight between falling forwards and falling backwards. But how you fall is essential in the development of your handstand, and this is where we need to understand and apply the 50-50 rule. In a handstand, we are constantly falling forwards and backwards. Falling forwards is what we call overbalance, and falling backwards is what we call underbalance. Balance is going to be found somewhere in between, and this is going to be our sweet spot. You'll most likely have one specific direction that you fall in most of the time, and this can be different depending on if you are doing a kick-up or if you're doing a balance against the wall. So if you're constantly falling in one direction, then you won't be able to hit the sweet spot where balance actually happens. And this is where you need to apply the 50-50 rule. So the rule states that for every time that you fall under, you need to fall over. So for every time that you kick up and fall back to your feet, you then want to do a kick up where you fall over. Over time, you're going to increase the precision of your kick ups, and you're going to be able to land closer to the sweet spot. And this is going to be the first step in actually creating balance. So the rule is simple enough, but how do you actually apply it to your training? Well, the first step is you have to figure out which direction do you fall in the most. A simple way to test this is by doing 10 kick-ups and see how many of those attempts do you fall over versus under. Once you have an understanding of the direction that you fall in, the next step is simply to start to even the numbers out. So if you fall over 8 out of 10 times, that means that most of the time you overshoot your kick-ups and fall over too much. So you would have to reduce the speed of your kick-ups, and at least 5 of those 10 kick-ups should be in underbalance. It could also be vice versa if you always kick up and never fall over. That probably means that you're a bit too scared and you're not comfortable enough with falling over. So your next step should be to learn how to fall safely, and then start to learn how to get enough momentum to actually get up into balance and then fall over. I want to emphasize though that even though our goal is to fall over in order to find balance, it's equally important that you fight and resist the fall for as long as you can. Your goal is to fight and resist hard enough to the point where you don't fall. So the next time that you practice your handstand, keep in mind the 50-50 rule. It's going to be a very valuable tool in order to help you learn how to balance. But also keep in mind that this is not a universal rule. It is going to depend on where you are at in your journey. This rule is the most applicable to beginners who can't balance for more than 15 to 30 seconds. If you can balance for longer than 30 seconds, there are going to be some circumstances where this rule doesn't apply. But this is going to be on an individual basis, but just keep that in mind.